हो गया बहुत ठंडा लग रहा है।
हाँ थोड़ा ठंडा हो गया, हाथ को भी ठंडा लग रहा था। जब वो ठंडा होता है इधर और उधर बहुत ठंडा होता है।
अच्छा सामने है ना, अभी नहीं चाहिए ना,
अभी नहीं चाहिए,
अभी लास्ट
मुझे लोग महाराष्ट्र
मुझे बहुत बुरे लगा क्यों डिफाइन करके मुझे उनको जो अर्ली में दाढ़ी पे आते हैं एंड बाल भी ऐसे ही होते हैं इन लोगों के नहीं होते ये लोगों के ना एकदम सॉफ्ट वगैरह रहता है बट ये good way of describing yourself. मुझे जोनी आदत
क्योंकि हमारा तेलंगाना और तमिल में जो एक्सेंट डिफरेंट होता है क्योंकि और इतना टाइम में और शो किधर से मैं तेलंगाना से तो क्या मेरे वापस आके मलाडा में कुछ किया ना हैदराबाद में महाराष्ट्र में हैदराबाद क्या
वैसे डेकन में क्या था हां वैसे डेकन में क्या था मराठा में बस डेकन के आगे नहीं गए मुझे ना अभी ऐसे तो हम लोग
हाँ इस अरिस्टोक्रेसी का भी हो गया ना नेक्स्ट पॉइंट आई टोल्ड यू टू रीड next is that
but you were going to explain what's Inam Commission.
Inam Commission, have you read the SND24? What is the Inam Commission?
Not a proper idea.
Just read it out because I don't have to listen. Inam Commission, 1852. According to the provisions of the Inam Commission, 20,000 estates were confiscated when the landlords failed to produce evidence like it. अभी वो जो मेरा प्रॉपर्टी है करके मेरे को डॉक्यूमेंट प्रोड्यूस करने का, बट दिस 20,000 holders, the landlords, they were not able to produce the document. तो ये लैंड ब्रिटिश ने ले लिया, जो ऑनर्स थे उसको जो प्रॉपर्टी का डॉक्यूमेंट नहीं दिखा पाया उसका प्रॉपर्टी ले लिया. दैट इज व्हाट इनाम कमीशन व्हेन इट वाज 1852. क्लियर और नॉट? डाउट इज देयर मींस आस्क because I did not write it. Now next is that growing unemployment. What is that? Naturally, when this thing job is not there, work is not there, economic status will decline. So ownership right is not there. So how they can employ that persons? So large number of people remain unemployed. So because of that, economic condition become very bad. Next is inhuman treatment of indigo planters. What is that inhuman treatment? See, indigo planters सबको जानता है. What is indigo planters? Indigo is a crop which is used for giving color. See, almost like that to be that indigo color. So this dye Indians were forced to grow in their land by the British. अभी मेरे को मेरा लैंड में इंडिगो नहीं कल्टीवेट करने का, मेरे को पैडी कल्टीवेट करने का, मेरे को व्हीट कल्टीवेट करने का, but these planters torture the people. They used very much repressive measures to force that farmers to grow indigo. And what they used to do first, they used to, in order to persuade them to cultivate, they used to give some loan, and they have to repay the loan. Sometimes, if they fail to repay, they were tortured, they were brutally uh, punished for that, and because of that, their economic condition become very bad. Because of that poverty, their food problem, food cannot be produced. No, that fertile land only this indigo used to be grown. So poverty, starvation, like that, like a chain of events, they had to experience. Clear?
Yes.
Next, poverty and famines. This is what already I have included. What is famine?
Not enough food to feed the people.
Yes, it is what. See, when there is a crop fail, feed the people.
There are not enough
What
crops in order to
Enough
feed the people.
food. What did you What is?
Famine.
See, listen to me. When there is a calamity, the food, the crop production will be affected. If crop production affected, there is a shortage of food. If there is a shortage of food, then what would be the condition? Long-term shortage of food lead to famine. Famine means no food, and this no food, people die. It is chain of event, not one in condition. One after another, if this condition persists, then large number of deaths due to famine. Got it? Now next we are moving to the last course, military. See, when we hear about the military course, the first thing is coming about immediate course. I am not going to start with the immediate course. We are going to see one by one. One is ill treatment of Indian soldiers. What is ill treatment? Indian soldiers were treated badly. How?
They were refused to climb the ranks.
Refused to
climb the ranks or the ranks.
That was not given at all. But treated badly means they were at the post of Subedar or coolies. They were considered as that very, very low position. First of all, they were forced to do that work, and they were not given any kind of promotion or increased salaries or like that. So this kind of ill treatment, they should be treated fairly. Fairly to be treated, but here ill treated. Badly treated. Ill treated is the opposite of good treatment. No, ill, bad. Now next, bleak prospects of promotion. What is that? Say, if you are appointed to that one post, they have to remain here in that post. But at the same time, Europeans are promoted to higher ranks. So Indian soldiers were not given any chance of higher you leave any post. That means where they are starting that post. We know that we have high respect to our soldiers. Now also we are peacefully sleeping, we are peacefully living when our soldiers are guarding. Yesterday also there was a big terrorist attack in Poonch region. So that all things they are doing continuously, they are sacrificing their life. That is why we are peacefully living. So we have high respect to them. and those people are treated badly by British. So that is why the military personnel were unhappy. Next one is that deprivation of allowances and low salaries. Earlier times, when they go to wage war in any part, they used to get a special allowance. Now, see, I am giving one example only. I have to travel from one part to here. Okay, so for that I need traveling allowance, otherwise that it is very difficult for me. Understood? So that is what allowances are one kind of that is facility which encourages the people to do work. And as far as soldiers are concerned, they need that one. But instead of giving allowances, the British stopped giving allowances. And their salaries are very low. And once after the war is over, they have to go and do agriculture when there is no war. That's very bad. See, when we see a soldier in our locality, we are giving respect to that person. So, do we like to see them doing farming? That is when they are not having work. So, these soldiers have to do such kind of work for a living. So, this kind of conditions led to revolt. Next, faulty distribution of troops. What is faulty distribution? One is that some areas, strategic areas, like in Delhi and all, very important areas. No? These areas, what is that? No European soldiers are there. Now, imagine, so when we are entering into these premises, if security is not there or no security system is there, because there are a lot of cameras. If security is not watching us, so many cameras are watching us. No? So if there is nothing, it will be easy to anyone to penetrate into and do any harm. So this kind of condition during 1857 was there. European soldiers were not at all in that strategic points. So that is why these people could easily conquer. That is what the imbalance, faulty distribution. Next, General Service Enlistment Act, page number 8 of that book, and you are that this thing you just read. General Service Enlistment Act. Yeah, page number 15 of the textbook. No textbook. You did not bring at all.
No, I have it.
Huh?
I have it.
Have it. Where is it? Okay, you tell me what is general.
It meant that the Brahmins, according to their caste, they were not they were prohibited from ever sailing or crossing the sea. But the British passed the General Service Enlistment Act, which made it so that the Indian troops or the Indian soldiers could be sent overseas to other posts, and the Brahmins saw this as a way in order to pollute their own caste and religion. Therefore, this was a reason for revolt for the Brahmins against the British.
Yes. So, what is that? It was a taboo for that Brahmins crossing that. Taboo is
Prohibited.
prohibited.
Sin.
Religiously, it is prohibited. See, if they cross the sea, they will lose the Brahmin caste. That means that custom to perform all these things the Brahmins only were doing. No? So they will lose it according to their belief. Now, through this act, Brahmins also, once you are enlisted in the military, you are supposed to go anywhere we are sending. Now, if they go out and when they come back, there are so much purificatory this thing to be done to take them back to the religion. So it made them annoyed. तुमको नहीं करने का, forced to do. Understood? So what would be your feeling? You are forced to do, and you believe that it is going to give trouble to me. Understood? So that kind of things we have to avoid. Say, when I was in college, I was having a Brahmin friend. Just we used to sit together and have food. So what she used to do is when we are having that lunch together, Brahmins are considered as the upper caste. So she used to that while having that rice, she used to make a ball first and keep it separately. So we used to tease her why she is doing. And that we used to tease her that are you keeping it for your boyfriend or like that? And it's like that we started teasing. Means it was the time that we are growing up. We don't know why they are. So according to this thing, if they are sitting along with the group, they believed that they have to keep it separately. That is according to their custom they believe. And once I happened to go to her house because her sister's marriage, I was invited. So I told the next day. So the next day marriage is that. So previous day I went. So the house is like that, very big house, and in between that big place is the courtyard is there, and in that house temple and all also there. So Brahmins means that kind of condition I could not imagine only. And that the place outside also courtyard, and beyond that the place for that the people who are coming to work, for them food and all are served. So I was allowed to enter, but those people are in the prohibited area.
Yeah.
So this made me to learn so many things. What type of inhuman customs? What would be the feeling of those people? They are getting the food outside.
And we are being served inside.
So we are getting among our friends. There was such kind of low caste also. So they were not invited. I was invited because I am a Christian, so I was invited. So the other people were not invited. We are very close friends, but they were not invited. So the condition, that is the belief and practices going on in the present day also is a way inhuman, isn't it? You people are not experiencing it, but I have seen so many such conditions when that is when I was studying also. So this type of beliefs and that it is superstitious only. It's not realistic, you know. So nowadays, any person go any part of the world to work. Now their caste is not losing. Their caste is not losing. Now crossing the sea also that in this Dubai, that Gulf countries or any part they are going and working. So that time they believed. So one way British wanted to that prove that this belief is wrong. But the Indians thought that they were working against the religious beliefs. Got it? Then larger proportion of Indians in the British Army. What is that? The ratio was 1 European to equal to 1,000 Indians. So the ratio was very much that a high ratio of Indians and a very low ratio for British. Next, poor performance of British troops. अभी देखो British कुछ भी नहीं करेगा तो भी उसको salary मिलेगा. I used to think about this one. That is when we compare it with the education system. I have been working in a school that is a private school. The same school that is morning session was that one government run. So salaries for that teachers were getting from government. So what happened? The students that report or result is very bad. And here, if one student is failing, we are answerable. Why does one student fail? There nobody is there to question. So what is that? Poor performance also they will get the salary, and here that if they do worst performance also they were ill treated. That is the difference. Got it clear? Now next is the immediate pose. You all must have heard about some rifles. You might have heard about
That was on
No, not that. Actually, what is that? They introduce a new rifle. That is Enfield rifle. In that, the bullets is called cartridges, have to be filled inside. When they have to fill, it is that that cartridges are sealed. The seal to be opened, and that opened with the mouth, teeth. What is that? Enfield rifle, and cartridges have to be filled, and it was sealed to be opened with the mouth. And there was a rumor. This cartridges was covered with the fat of cows and pigs. Now, when the people have to open with that mouth, this cow is holy for Hindus and pig is a taboo for Muslims. Pigs are haram, that is the word they are using. Unclean, pig is unclean. So because of that, they never go to look to their salads. So when they heard that this one is made up with the fat of cows and pigs, immediately they protested against using it. That was triggered the mutiny. Clear? All of you clearly understood? If you did not understand, that 2 minutes I will give you to read. Fast you read. What is mutiny? Mutiny means this kind of revolt. In that, they attacked, that is, Indian soldiers attacked the officers. Mangal Pandey. And he was killed, He was shot dead, So that
no one actually dared to complain British, but Mangal Pandey was shot who raised against the British. But British wanted to, after he saw Mangal Pandey, he was the first Indian to go against British. They said it should not be done, and like it should not be promoted. Otherwise, all the people will go against British. So they what the British do, they like told him that he should be dead at once. So I think they were thinking that due to this, the Indian will experience that हमको ऐसे नहीं होना चाहिए कि like we should not go against the British, otherwise we'll fear death. So therefore they killed Mangal Pandey at birth, but it didn't. I think it didn't suppress the Indians, but it was an inspiration to them to go against them.
It was actually British wanted to create a fear in the moral. This thing was they were the people to be feared.
Yes,
but Mangal Pandey dared to this thing to question, and then again when they by killing Mangal Pandey, British thought that now everyone will be afraid of that. But that was the beginning. So that is what actually, when we realistically think that people were completely unhappy with the British policies and they were eagerly waiting for a chance. Because it was only a rumor. Nobody made that one with the fat of cow and everything. It was a rumor. So people were eagerly waiting for a chance to revolt against. And Mangal Pandey took the lead that one. So that is how that all began. But the next part is not coming. That is the sequence of events. No consequences. Say consequences now we have to study. In between what happened, stages, how this all have taken place is not that is cancelled. No, that is why it is not included. So that way we can complete also, no? Now let's see what are the consequences. First we will discuss. First consequence was that the end of company rule. We know that the East India Company came for trade, and now they established the rule in India. Now that rule ended, and this passed to the hands of crown. That is what the first consequence. Got it clear? What is the first consequence? Company rule ended and the administration passed to the hands of crown. Crown means British crown. Next point is that for administration purpose. Now, hereafter, the Governor General will be known as Viceroy. Till that time, Governor General only we were calling. So, 1858 onwards, that same Governor General will be known as Viceroy. And there will be one officer to look after Indian administration. That person was Secretary of State. What was that officer? Of State for Indian Affairs. Okay, this is one office. Another one, India Council was set up to manage that administration. Okay, so Governor General will be known as Viceroy. Then one officer called Secretary of State was created, and One India Council. Clear? First point, what is that? End of company rule and East India Company rule and administration passed to Crown. Then Viceroy, Secretary of State for India and India Council. Now, next point is Queen Victoria Proclamation. Okay, in 1858, Queen Victoria Proclamation. This one, Queen Victoria was the Queen of England at that time. In her name, that proclamation came. What was that? It was that underline that point which I am telling. It was made on November 1st at Allahabad. Underline November 1st at Allahabad. Have you seen? Allahabad, and who was the first viceroy? Lord Canning. That also underlined. Because 1 mark question this way can come. Okay. Second point also clear. What is Queen Victoria Proclamation? Third, end of Mughals and Peshwas. We know that the Mughal Empire started from 1526 and now with 1858 it ended. Peshwas were the Maratha chiefs and their rule also ended. So end of Mughals and Marathas. Next one is change in relation with the princely states. What is this princely states and how? See, British territories were divided into two. One is directly ruled by the British and the other were ruled by princes. Now, how it changed? Some accepted British sovereignty. So, uske kuch nahi bola. So, I say, some who were against, to them, different way of being. So that way, different type of relations with the princely states. Clear? This one. Next point is that policy of divide and rule. It is the worst policy introduced by the British. Its effect only we are experiencing. Dividing the people on the basis of religion or community. Hindus and Muslims.
But already India has already told that we are Hindus and we are Muslims.
That time it was not the British when they created. That is one of the course we have studied. That is Muslims were branded as cruel and inhuman like that. Understood? So now they clearly made that Muslims separate and Hindus separate. So that when they started, there was enmity among the people. वो जो आस पड़ोस में वो neighbors रहते थे, पहले happily they were living. They were very helpful. They don't know that which religion they are following. But now, the British, when they started creating the difference, they started seeing as enemies. Say that there are some areas or some buildings itself, when we go for that is taking it on rent, the first itself they will tell, if you are a non-veg person, here rooms will not be given. Non-veg. Those who are using non-vegetarian food, this will not be given. I find this one is very much inhuman. It's our freedom whether which food we should. If you don't like it, then you don't have it. But in the building, how many flats are there that people only that flats should be given? So this type of division and that creating differences based on religion is very much inhuman only. That was started with the British, and finally it led to the partition of India. Understood? So when they gave independence, in the Independence Act itself they have mentioned, we are giving freedom to two nations, Hindus and Muslims. They did not tell India and Pakistan. That we only have made. But they mentioned clearly two nations. We आपस में लड़ो. So they did not try to unite the people. They thought that from then onwards they will go on continuously fighting. अभी भी that G20 summit is going to be held in Jammu and Kashmir. Pakistan is sending the terrorists just because of that only. In order to make the world know that, so here the problems are there, don't come here. So this type of policy is already made during the British time. Then only they can come. अभी तुमने बचपन में ऐसा स्टोरी सुना होगा, दो फॉक्स एंड टू गॉड्स. फॉक्स को ये गॉड का खून पीने का, अभी ये दोनों एक साथ जा रहे, फ्रेंडली था, तो उसको लड़ाने के लिए वो लड़ेगा तो खून पी सकता है. So this is what the attitude of the British. Divided and rule, you understood? Now next one is racial antagonism. This is also coming along with that only. Racial hatred. Antagonism is hatred. So created hatred among the races. Then foreign policy. What is foreign policy? It is not belong to any other country and one country. No. They told that they will not interfere in the relations of that priestly states. They can make their own thing and they will not interfere in the policies towards other neighboring kingdoms or other priestly states. Next, religious changes. What is that? Religious changes also again, they told that is we will not interfere in the religious matters. Because of that only that revolt happened. So they learned the lesson, we will not interfere in that religious beliefs and practices. So that is what religious changes. Okay? Clear or not? If any doubt is there, you can read for these two things you just read. Understood or not? Yes. Now, changes in the army. What are the changes? The ratio of the number of Indian soldiers and British soldiers changed. That is, earlier it was 1 to 1000, now 1 to 5. Every 5 Indian soldiers, 1 British soldiers, like that. That ratio changed. And next is that strategic places, European soldiers were, the number of European soldiers increased. Next is economic exploitation. That one, we know that you all heard about import and export. What is import?
Importing something from outside.
That is the things which are
Take it from other countries.
see, actually, when we are telling, this is also coming that buying and selling. Okay, from a nearby shop when we are buying, this is just buying only. But when we are buying from other country, it is imported. Got it? When we are selling the things to that next state or like that, it is just selling. But when we are selling it to other country, it is export. Simply. Now, what is the difference here? When we are importing the things, we have to pay high taxes.
Yes.
It will not come easily. Import taxes, customs duties. Have you heard about it? Customs duties to be paid. So, when Indians are importing that foreign goods, we have to pay high taxes. When British import our goods, they don't have to pay. Is it clear? When we are importing the goods, we have to pay high taxes. When Europeans are importing, they don't have to pay. So this way, economically, that so much exploitation was there. Clear? Next, rise in nationalism. One good achievement was that. As a result of the first war of Indian independence, people began to unite together, and a sense of nation feeling came.
Towards the nation.
So we began to feel it is not a religion which divides us. It is not the kings which divide us. We have to work together, and we must make our nation. See, when we are taking the pledge, India is my country. That feeling is different from okay, you. So different persons when it is there, and when we are telling, we all are telling unanimously that it's my country. I used to hear that is when the pledge used to be taken. In the pledge, there are different parts. All Indians are my brothers and sisters. So, boys, what you are telling? You are telling same way? Huh?
Except
That is what, no. Only brothers. Huh? Because if the sisters are there, can they marry sisters? It's like, so there's a joke about that. All Indians are my brothers and sisters. So sisters को शादी नहीं कर सकते हैं ना? So what happened? You have to go foreign and just get married. That is why Rajiv Gandhi married Sonia Gandhi. तो सिस्टर को शादी नहीं कर सकता तो इटली में जाके शादी करती. Okay, just for this thing only, that feeling.
no, I just नहीं देता placement. ये लाइट कब बोला?
वो लाइन बहुत स्वालो करता है. तो no, I used to that is walk around the 10th standard and 9th standard students. I used to walk. So they used to swallow this part. So once just for so I just jokingly I asked. So they told me. Because I used to be very friendly with the students, so they used to tell her. So that way, From that day onwards, I started thinking, oh, that would be the result. Just for joggers, see if principal is going and principal is hearing this one, then they will get irritated. But I used to stand in the side of that viewpoint of the children, and I never create any this thing. Yeah. If I hear something bad, also that's okay. Afterwards, I will make them convince. That time I will not create any besides the home. Yeah, that fuel to the burning. That I
like में पढ़ेंगे टीचर्स
नहीं है.
नहीं टीचर्स का एक टीचर्स आगे कर देते हैं हम लोग सुनाई भी नहीं देता
I means know that boys know that I used to be with the drum only, that girls room में नहीं जाने का. So boys का room में
girls का opposite
हम जोर से बोलते हैं
why these people know many things will happen. At the attention का time में नाचते रहते हैं ना. So that is what I have to notice. No, national anthem करते हैं ना. नाचते रहते हैं ना. So next dance forms will come out there.
They were singing Believer. It was no practice, nothing. बहुत गंदा आया और पीछे से वो लड़के अभी
इसका नाम क्या है
उसका नाम क्या है सिर्फ गाना था बस वो लाइन
Okay, so the nationalism emerged. That was the best advantage or the positive outcome of the first war of Indian independence. But there are so many negative these things. We have seen so many. And the last one is widening the gulf between Hindus and Muslims. So Hindus and Muslims become more enmity. We know that when that the partition, India got independence, that time it was seen with the bloodshed. Large number of that people died during the riot, Hindu-Muslim riot. So this kind of Sikh riot was different. It was that after the execution of this one, Indira Gandhi, that was a Sikh riot. So Hindu-Muslim riots are very, very common. For each and everything, they used to fight. And it aggravates also. See, we know that if one person gives some harm or creates some harm to others, they cannot suffer that. So they wanted to retaliate. And this side also, so many people join together and try to retaliate. This way only riots are taking place. But most of the places, have you noticed that Christians are the people who are experiencing more that suppression and that very bad treatment. Even the holy places, when they are having the worship, also the others are coming and attacking. But what the Christians are doing? Simply keeping quiet and moving after closing that one and going. So they never go to retaliate. So, but the Hindus and Muslims, they try to solve who is superior. So it will give rise to more violence. And this started with that British policy. Okay, take that volume. So I will give you some homework. That lesson over. That is it. Our title is also getting over, but volume. Page number 20 and 21. Page 20 and 21. It is review exercise. Okay. Review exercise that you have to do. Afterwards, the worksheet is there. That also. As well you have to do it. Okay, you understood now, nicely you understood the lesson, no? You will be able to write, no? So, not much questions, but you have to.
For the review exercise, you have to write in book, and for the worksheet, you have to write here.
But no, if you are writing, then the space won't be enough. You can write in the book. Okay. Now this one you are having that is solved the question. You have to. I'm not telling you to write everything. You can learn it because just questions if they come, you should be able to. Clear?
Yes.
I'm not doing that is what it is. I'm not there for preparing question. I'm there to teach. So what type of questions are coming? So when my chapter is over, I have mostly from behind. Behind only. So then you have to go to. This is called the. We only had one test. The entire for history and geography. Last year.
Yeah. I don't know why I just gave only one.
No, but now this one weekly this things will have
Weekly only they only had for history and geography only one or twice.
now it will come. Because they are planning like that. No? So I have to tell, okay, my chapter is over. I'm just using it, that after completing the lesson. So on the basis of that, they can. Clear. So this is homework to be done, and whatever is that solved this thing, exercises you have to study. Next was probably Tuesday, no, according to the new timetable, no?
Yes, ma'am.
History का पता नहीं. There was only for 3 hours I guess.
Yes, ma'am.
And
There
there
is
was
for 3 hours.
What happened?
Ma'am, Hindi.
Hindi.
तीन लोग हैं।
4 लोग हिंदी. तुम लोग भी हो?
तू है? तू भी है? हिंदी भी है? You are Sanpada, na?
इसको तो easy जाता है महाराष्ट्र.
7:30 to 9.
महाराष्ट्र है ना easy जाता है.
And then
महाराष्ट्र
हाँ पर मैंने मराठी नहीं आती है नहीं होता. पहले हम लोग को मराठी और जर्मन में था. पहले अभी नहीं आई.
3 hours, no?
3 साल बहुत हिंदी जर्मन और हिंदी में था. हिंदी की वो क्या है?
I think that is the lesson, no?
World War One.
आता है
मैंने पढ़ाया बहुत सारा कुछ नहीं पता
ऑनलाइन इतना नहीं जानते एग्जाम से तो सर क्या यार वो डरता कैसे पूछते रहते वो नाम वो मेरा तो नाम टॉप में आता है ऐसे वाला गूगल मीट में तो ए से हम लोग का रोल नंबर अरे गूगल मीट में थोड़ी ना मिलता है सर को ना पता है
मेरा नाम अजीत है
हम लोग के क्लास में हम लोग के स्कूल में
ऑपोजिट है कभी देखा है फर्स्ट लड़का
I'm